Scribble with us. Weekend racing this weekend, so he's been flying them down there, so he's able to come out. See in the turn one, the white and blue pure stock in turn 1 and 2. David Coles with us back tonight out of Warsaw. That's 06. With Christie's Tasty Queen on the side of that car as well. As you can see, packing in the track here. Good turnout also with the Powerhouse Superstocks. Dale Petty comes down the front stretch, the old car. Fair weather on state structure. The winner last week in the 57 B-Mon. Now going down into turn 1 and 2. That's the blue with the white number 57. Chad Clancy in that car again. Chad told me last week in Victory Lane that was his first ever CMS feature one last week. He raced here in late models as well back in the early days. So Chad Clancy in the 57 tonight. Right behind him as well in the 87 car, Jason Phillips on the Polk, Missouri. In the Iron Oak Chad Clancy GRT Fusion Wraps number 87 car. On the back stretch, it's Billy Dave Meyer, the veteran modified driver, now in a super stock this year. Good to see Billy Dave Meyer, his son Ryan Meyer, Midwest Bonds, but this year it'll be that number 9 car, Dave Meyer, out of Concordia, WF Welding, Carroll Area Trucking, First Choice Concrete, Gator Graphics, there's a 9 car, Billy Dave Meyer. Welcome back to the 12H. Good to see him back with us tonight. That is Mike Hoover out of Tony, Missouri area, the first-year driver. Here, that's CMS. His dad also races. They've been having some motor problems with Dad's car, but we do have the 12M out, so good to see him here. And again, he's just up the road in Kearney, Missouri. Thank a lot of the great sponsors here tonight. $5,000 extra in payouts tonight to our drivers. We talked about the Cliff Harris Fleet Auto Care, creating and maintaining quality customer relationship with the latest, most up-to-date technology. Experienced, knowledgeable, friendly technicians can repair your vehicle when it should be. Elite Auto Mark Carter has a feature with machine. But racing Mark's car tonight will be Chad Lyle, the veteran modified driver. Also another sponsor tonight, Get Her Done HVAC, heating and cooling, offering heating and cooling services and the warranty. Your property, residential and commercial property, so get her done. Expert services in and around the Williamsburg area. Services from this hot lap session. Many more. The M87 Mallory Stifler broke here. Number M87 comes all the way over to Fort Kansas. On our drive to come over and race here with us. Road group runners. So pure stocks, looks like we're getting ready to start our flagman course. Walt Farwell back on the stand here with us tonight. Front stretch with Tony Borgstad. Happy birthday, Tony! So happy birthday to Tony Borgstad this last week. He's your front stretch official along with Earl Walls. Normally Troy Walls up at turn number 2. Jeremiah Wilson, our lineup official in the pit area. Lyda Yeager also on the check-in registration process. Sam on the mic. Sam Stecklin, our competition director, along with Karen Darling down on the infield. And Steve Lyle, our tech official. Here we go, Pure Stock Hot Lap session number 1 underway. Here we go. Pure Stocks checked in for racing tonight with, and by the way, you can use My Racing Pass. So bring that up on your phone, download it, and you can see those lineups here. Just select Central Missouri Speedway. Check out those lineups. Be a couple of heat races tonight for your Pure Stocks.
Next out should be your Midwest Mods. Another good field of Midwest Mods also checked in tonight with 14 cars checked in for racing, including that number 32M of Marcus Fairstein. He's out of Green Valley in the Remax Elite, Velocity Electric, the Pizza Place, Brilliant Graphics, number 32. Back with us in the 75 is Race Martin out of Independence in the RPM Motorsports Procurate, number 75, up in the middle of turns 1 and 2. The number 41, he's a young driver, but that is Alex Schultz out of Sedalia. Just his second time on the track here at CMS. That is Terry Schultz's son. So good to see Alex back racing with us on the back stretch. That 0 car, Jamie Alshire out of Moberly. And then that 13 machine of Joe Morant coming down here through the front stretch in the white number 13. Said, hey, I finished the race last week. Glad to get back on the track. Dustin Bray in the white number 22 behind him. Dustin Bray out of Osceola, about an hour down the road here on highway number 13. And we're in Warrensburg, Missouri. Glad that you could be with us here tonight at Central Missouri Speedway. Again with the Malvern Bank super late models here tonight. Should be a great night of racing. Nice and warm out. Has been a lot of rain this week as checkered flag comes out. Hot lap session finished up there. Take a look. I don't see any times yet on my race pass. The 059 of Jamie Alshire out of Moberly on that back stretch there. And I said the 22, Dustin Bray out of Osceola. The 29 of Justin Oliver out of Warsaw in the Beth Osage Mini Mart AB building, number 29. The 5D of Dustin Dennison out of Independence in the TBC Transport, Shepherd Enterprises, Martin Auto Dirt Works car. He had a feature win down at Electric City last night. Dakota Gerard in the 0 car. Good to see Dakota back with us here again tonight. Those gentlemen out of the Moberly area. He's in the Razor Chassis, KC Auto Sales, Fast Lane Tire, and Auto. That's that 0 car. Also the 33. Good to see him back with us again here tonight as well. Steve Muhlenberg brought his late model. I believe Andy Bryant out of Fort Scott will be racing the car. There's the 059. Also the 33, the Muhlenberg Excavating. That is Steve Muhlenberg. Steve out of the Sparta, Missouri area. The 82 at David Wood. Good to see David back with us again here tonight. David out of Richmond in the Jolt Lightning. Matco Campbell Tools, Depot Bar and Grill, Fast Lane Engines. Fusion Graphics GRT car. There's the 9 in turn number 1 and 2. That is Brian Meyer. That is Dave Meyer's son. Brian out of the Concordia area. Green flag for your Midwest Mods. All right, we'll hand the mic over to Anthony as the Malvern Bank super late models will be out. Looks like we do have one more Midwest mod out on the track. That is the 64. Pete Richardson all the way up from Springfield in the Atkins Motorsports C&M Gear Work. Thompson Sales GRT. So we're going to give him a chance to run a few laps here. Will be the Malvern Bank super late models. Speedway. Again, that was Pete Richardson.
Out of the Springfield. All right, Anthony, we'll head it over to you for the Malvern Bank Super Late Models.
Thank you very much, Alan. Once again, race on behalf of the Malvern Bank Super Late Models West Series, like to welcome you out to the inaugural running of the Harris Memorial Speedway. Session number 1 making their way out on the Speedway. Glad to see you this week and ready to go for Dennis racing competition. Session number 1 on the track. First car to hit the Speedway, heading into turn number 1. Your winner here from 2 years ago, coming to us from Ames, Iowa. That is the Mike Yield Seed Treaters, Christie Door Company, Dirt Track Bank, Short Motor Company, McKenna Innovations Group. Number 22, it's Charging Charlie McKenna. Charlie McKenna in car 22. Rolling down the front straightaway. I believe the last car to make it through the gate tonight out of Council Bluffs, Iowa. He drives the 5150 trailer set. It's the Joker, Mike Collins. Mike Collins in car number 3. Rolling down the back straightaway, had a tough going at the East Series season opener, but glad to see him tonight. Your Malvern Bank West Series champion from 2 years ago from Malvern, Iowa. He drives the Malvern Bank, Dirt Track Bank, Tanner Racing, Underdog Design and Drawings, Anderson Woods, All Makes Collision Center, number 99, Jesse Sobbing in car 99. Rolling down the front straightaway in car number 15C, coming to us from Newton, Iowa. That is going to be the Kurt Schroeder CPA, Pre-Owned Autos of Des Moines, Jet Drain Service, CRP Services, Paul Excavation and Plumbing, Iowa Water and Waste Systems Entry. That is Kurt Schroeder. Kurt Schroeder in car number 15C. Going through into turn number 3 right now, making his Central Missouri Speedway debut out of Waverly, Nebraska. He drives the I-80 Farms, Outback Fence and State, Diamond J Custom Services, Shoot Seed Supply, Precision Performance. Number 1, it's the Waverly Warrior, Jake Bridge. Jake Bridge in car number 1. And rolling down the front straight away, the defending Iowa Governor's Cup champion out of Ainsworth, Iowa. He drives the Stewart & Sons Limited, Midwest Raymond Axle, DMC Farms, Red Ink Houston Brothers LLC, number 43. That is Derek Stewart. Derek Stewart in car number 43. Going down the backstretch from right here in Warrensburg, Missouri, he drives the Long Creek Graphics GRT chassis, number 65. That is John Binning. John Binning in car 65. And final car in this group, making his first start on the season from Malvern, Iowa. He drives the Malvern Bank, Dirt Track Bank, the Blooming Barn, Scott Bailey powered Underdog Design and Drawings, Capitalist Chassis. Number J1, it's the banker, Jay Burdick. Jay Burdick in car J1. Those are all the cars ready to go for Hot Lap session number 1, presented by Deathridge Racing Oppositions here at the inaugural Cliff Harris Memorial at the Central Missouri Speedway. Big shout out to everyone tuning in live on Dirt Crown TV. Welcome you live from the Central Missouri Speedway, High Bank 3/8 Mile Oval here in Warrensburg, Missouri. Round number 1. West Series going green here in Hot Lap session number 1, presented by Deathridge Racing Oppositions. Session number 1 coming to a close right now. Jesse Sobbing the fastest in group number 1. Sobbing turning in a 14.432 lap time for his best. Second group of Deathridge Racing Oppositions hot laps ready to come out. First car to hit the track will be the driver out of Mount Airy, Iowa. That is the Glendenning Motor Company, Toad Hauler Hunting Estates, Ruper's Bar and Grill, Time Limit Lubricants, and Austin's Carbon and Duck number 33. It's PG33, Paul Glendenning. Paul Glendenning in car 33. Right behind him, your defending Malvern Bank West Series Rookie of the Year. Coming to us from Aldo, Nebraska. That is the S&S Welding Strike Farms, Corn Grower State Bank, Dirt Track Bank, Durham-powered XR1 Rocket, number 35D. That is Dylan Silman. Dylan Silman in car 35D. Third car in line will come to us from Messina, Iowa. That is the Car Asset Management Side-By Specialist, Erickson Construction, Lefty's Pump and Plumbing, Schaefer Welding, Ames Design Company, number 56. It's the Woodpecker, Chris Speaker. Chris Speaker in car 56. Making his Malvern Bank Series debut tonight, going down the backstretch. That'll be the driver out of Fort Scott, Kansas. That is going to be the T&D Trucking, Muhlenberg Excavation, R&R Graphics, John Muhlenberg Racing, Eagle Machine Powered, Black Diamond, number 49, Andy Bryan. Andy Bryan in car 49. Coming to us from Griswold, Iowa. That is the Clean Car Center, Wyman Body Works, Southern Iowa Vending, GW Performance, Griswold American Newspapers and Printing, Regan Funeral Home. Number 4, it is J.C. Wyman. J.C. Wyman in car number 4. Going down the front stretch, the defending Malvern Bank East Series Rookie of the Year, coming to us from Anamosa, Iowa. That is going to be the Phillips Enterprises. Storage to go, J.A. Hoffman Trucking, Stripley Construction, Neutrina, Rocket Chassis, number 42. That's Fred Remley. Fred Remley in car 42 as we go green in hot lap session number 2. Also on the Speedway in car number 52 out of Papillion, Nebraska. That is the Dirt Track Bank, Imperial Tile TV and Company, Stubby's Custom Creations, Kasiski Auto Parts, Albell Custom Homes, number 52. That's Brian Kasiski. Brian Kasiski in car 52. And final car in this group will be the 53. That's Andrew Kasiski out of La Vista, Nebraska. The A1 Crash Cars, Kasiski Auto Parts, and Brada Drivetrain, Connors Fight Select Auto Dealers, number 53. Second group of Deathridge Oppositions hot laps in the books. Third and final group making its way out. First car to hit the racetrack, your winner here from Central Missouri Speedway 1 year ago, coming to us from La Vista, Nebraska. He drives the Taylor Quick Pick, Duros Networks, Wright Speed Yards, Collins Home Creations, 5-Star Truck Center, Barger Grading, Scott Bailey Powered Rocket. Number 24, it's Billy the Kid, Bill Layton Jr. Bill Layton Jr. in car 24. Coming down the front stretch, I believe making his Central Missouri Speedway debut, coming to us from Manchester, Iowa. That is the Elite Auto Sales, RCZ, WBC Mechanical, Delbert Concrete, number 20. That is Zach Less. Zach Less in car number 20. Rolling into turn number 3, making his Malvern Bank Series debut, the 16-year-old out of Warsaw, Missouri. He drives the Team Automotive, Petty John Plastering, Martin Metal Studs, Horton Supply Company, CNC's Valley Trade. Transportation, American Family Insurance number 8K. That is Tyler Kuykendall. Tyler Kuykendall in car number 8K. And rolling into turn number 1, your defending Malvern Bank West Series champion out of Northport, Nebraska, driving the Signature Trucking, Two Casa Mexican Restaurant, Window World, CI and Associates, D12 and Pump, 106X Radio number 04. That's Tad Pospischal. Tad Pospischal in car number 04. Going into turn number 3, your winner last time with the East Series, and your winner here at Central Missouri Speedway from 2 years ago. Actually, from 3 years ago. He's out of Muscatine, Iowa, the defending East Series champion. He drives the Holiday Trucking, Hunt's Construction, Ellsworth Trucking, Affordable Metals Manufacturing, Alamant Landing Cattle Company, number 32C, it's Chad Holiday. Chad Holiday, number 32C. And rolling into turn number 3, the 7-time series champion from Marquette, Nebraska. He drives the Speedy Mart, Aurora Co-op, Global Manufacturing, Grease Truck Wash, Snap-on, KD Tools, Stevens Brothers Spice and Farms. Number 14 is the Marquette Missile, Kyle Berg. Kyle Berg in car number 14. And making his series debut tonight, coming to us from Boonville, Missouri. He drives the Car Medic of Sedalia, Salty Hummingbird, Daniel Carey Livestock and Equipment, WK Ford of Boonville, Engine Connection, Justice Brothers number 88. That is Jimmy Dowell. Jimmy Dowell in car 88. And final car on the Speedway from Marshalltown, Iowa, the in memory of Bob Moschman Trucking, Rumor Sports Bar, A Construction, Arnold Motor Supply, Action Auto Parts, number 99D. That's the Iron Man, Daryl DeFrance. Daryl DeFrance in car number 99D. Already, Kyle Burke has taken the number 14 machine down to the infield. Something he is not liking on that 14 already. So an interesting development here for the 7-time series champion Kyle Burke, not getting up to speed. He's taking that car to the infield. We'll see if he can get it back behind the wall and get ready for qualifying time trials later on tonight. It'll be how we stack up the heat races later on. That will do it for Death Ridge Racing Off Decisions Hot Laps. Like we said, we'll come back with qualifying time trials later on. Next up, time for the POWRi Super Stocks to make their way out onto the Speedway. So with that, we'll turn it back over to the voice of the Central Missouri Speedway, Alan Miller. Back to you, sir.
All right, thank you, Anthony. Good field of super stocks here tonight. 17 cars checked in, 1,000 to win for these guys tonight with all that extra money online. There's the 00 of Corey Flam out of Warrensburg, the Cliff Harris Ford, Baldwin Property Group, B&D Transmission, Air Design, Heating and Cooling. On the back stretch, the 28K of Chris Kircher wants to say happy birthday to Grayson. Happy birthday, Grayson. Jackson Aces Events, IM Heating and Cooling, KMA Electric, Wildcat Fencing. Also the 44, James Neiswanger. James out of Osawatomie, Kansas. And the Tree Masters, number 44, coming down the front stretch. Also the IM Heating and Cooling, Jackson Aces Events. The 67 of Devin Urban. Also the 25 of Jay Prevett. Jay Prevett in the 25 machine in the Prevett Construction. Also the 25X behind him, also white with the 25 on the side as well. A little bit different on the coloring there with the orange. So that's the Prevett Construction, Renegade Auto Repair, Icon As the checker flag flies, that is your first set. Again, don't forget to pick up those race programs on the front and back side. Just $1 for those programs tonight, giving away a bunch of prizes at intermission time as well. You do have a DQ Grill and Chill coupon in there with buy a small or medium blizzard, get one free. Hey, there's the 164 out of Stillwell, Oklahoma. Michael Muskrat in the Burke Racing car. Also in the G1, the Schultz Construction. Good to see him back with us again. Of course, Nitro, Nick Gibson out of Creighton, the Epic Plumbing Schultz Construction Machine. The 9, moving Dave Meyer in the First Choice W&M Welding Western Auto Racing number 9. He's out of the Concordia area. Tonight in the 77, a new driver, Donnie Danner. Donnie Danner and the Fitzpatrick Construction, Mahan Trucking, Equity Bank, Wood Farm Equipment Services, Tony's Market, Twister's Graphics Machine. There's the 164 out of Stillwell, Oklahoma. Always good to see him up here racing. Also, the 07D of Mike Doherty out of Warrensburg in the Michael Goody Crate Service. Number 07, the Eagle Machine, Stork Farms 30K of Cameron Kelly. Cameron out of Concordia. And here we go, hot lap session number 2. Donnie Danner running the 77 tonight. For Danny McKenzie, helping him out on the car this week. Your next session now, it'll be the 04 of Blaine Ewing out of Green Ridge and the Kurt Ewing Farms, Purchase Farms, Heritage Fab, Brilliant Graphics, Yeoman Engine, and a Worley race car. Also the 45 three-time national champion with your Power Eye Super Stocks. It's the Big Scoops Elite Realty 45, the Gray Hair Racing. It's Aaron Poe. In the 10 tonight, 98.5 The Bar Radio. Elite Automotive, that's Mark Carter's Sharp Chassis, but that driver tonight is Chad Lyle. That's right, Chad Lyle in the number 10 tonight. Also looks like the McDowell brothers in the 21 and the 26. Those cars are actually in your pure stock class, so a couple of guys getting some laps in as well. So that 21 and your 26. The 26 of Zach McDowell out of Eldon, Missouri. The 21 Emma Peyton McDowell. A couple of guys getting some hot lap session in with them Power Eye Super Stocks. Here we go, green flag. Session for your Power Eye Super Stocks. Next down will be the Power Eye V-Mods. Good field of V-Mods. The 12C, the Polar Motors BFD Fabrication, KS Engineering, Chad Clancy Racing, and his Gresham G1 chassis. Also the 15 of Colin Pierce out of Hardin, Missouri, and the Walnut Creek Gresham chassis as well, Valor Racing. Your winner last time out here, the 57 car, different driver, but tonight it is Chad Clancy again. He was your feature winner last week in the Fast Lane Engine Main Street Auto Body 57 Motorsports Tony Farr real estate car. Also the 47W. That car is for sale, by the way. Terry Wilburn out of Raytown in the Thomas Murray Chiropractic small sandblasting HBJ chassis machine. On the back stretch, and the blue and orange number 28. You want to keep an eye on that car tonight. Andy Bryant out of Fort Scott, Kansas. And the Atnims Enterprising J2 chassis Performance Eagle machine number 28. Also racing a late model tonight with the Malvern Bank Super Late models. Also in that 15 car. Good to see him back tonight. Jake Fetterman out of Sedalia in the C&E Excavating Citywide Electric Shock Supply Crank Signs number 15J. He was your Rookie of the Year last year with your Power IB mods here at Central Missouri Speedway. Jake Fetterman out of Sedalia. Good field of B-mods here tonight. I think they're planning to start everybody tonight. Here we go. Also the white number 1R, Ryland Gibbs. Ryland Gibbs out of the Osceola in the Rage chassis. Behind him in that number 12 machine is also Parker Smith out of Mexico in the Icon Graphics. And then is Daycare, number 12, coming down the front stretch. Clancy in that 57. Andy Bryant with a good time of 15.883. Fetterman with a 16.358. And I believe the 57 with a 15.907. All right, the 05 coming out, that is Jeremy Lyle out of Higginsville in the Cornerstone Car Care Brown Trucking Muffler Shop machine. Just up the road here. Good to see that 20 machine back with us again here tonight as well. Dawson David, the 20D. Dawson David racing in that 20D car. Good to see him back. See him back here with us tonight as well. And Cody Brill in the HBJ Chassis Building Graphics number 96. Hoover in the 12H as well. That is Mike Hoover out of Kearney, Missouri. And the Kansas City Interior Designs, Rex Harris in the 30 machine. And welcome back to the AAA Transmission 6T of Michael Taylor. First time out here at CMS. Said he had the car out earlier at Humboldt this year. And a AAA Transmission Lethal chassis this year. Mike Striegel. That's right, Mike Striegel. The Outlaw out of Wheatland, Missouri. Also the 1K of Tim Carrick, the KC Boat Doctor. Also the 55 of Devin Payne out of the Fulton, Missouri area. A couple of guys coming over. Callaway had to cancel last night due to all the heavy rain over in that area. So good to see a few of those guys out racing with us tonight. And Devin Payne, the 55, one of those cars to be with us racing at Central Missouri Speedway here tonight. Quick time going to Dawson David with a 16.403. Mike Striegel with a 17.005. Tim Carrick a 15.907. So quick time so far to Rex Harris with a 15.549, Striegel a 15.592, Andy Bryan a 15.769, Dawson David a 15.854. Number 7 of Anthony Tanner out of Topeka, Kansas, in the Weast Auto Body Superior Real Estate number 7 car. He's out of the Topeka area. The 19 of Tanner.
Mike Striegle's son.
Stoltz. Good field. Again, 27 cars checked. Four big heat races tonight for your '20 car of Blake Wimmer. That's the white with the 20 on the side. That white number 20. That is Blake Wimmer. He's out of Wellsville, Missouri. The 447 of Kenny Prince on the back stretch as well. Here we go. Bema. Again, the 19 of Tanner Kate, the 90 of Terry Schultz on the backside. Chad Batter, again in that 7 car tonight. Keep an eye on that 56 as well. Always a fast car. Jason Billups in the 87 out of Holt, Missouri in the Iron Oak. Chad Clancy Fusion Graphics GRT. Hoyt Miller out of Cross Timbers was in the 56 machine. Looks like we'll have qualifying underway here in just a few minutes. We'll get it back over to Anthony with the Malvern Bank Super Late Models. Again, don't forget those programs, just $1 on each side of the track at the general admission area. We'll give the winning numbers at intermission time. You can claim your prizes at the general admission gate area. We'll have those numbers for you, so be sure to pick those up fairly quick. They tend to sell out. We'll give a lot of CMS swag away tonight, some shirts and hats, and also some kids tickets and other items as well. Again, our inaugural Cliff Harris Warrensburg Ford Memorial Race here tonight. They have been a long-time sponsor here at Central Missouri Speedway. We're pleased to have that auto group out of the Warrensburg, Marshall, California area here with us tonight. They had a picnic out here on the front stretch, so welcome to everybody here tonight from the Cliff Harris Automotive Group.
All right, race fans, qualifying time trials beginning underway for the Malvern Bank Super Late Models West Series.
First couple of cars, first three to make it out onto the Speedway will be the 43 of Derek Stewart, followed by the 22 of Charlie McKenna, the 56 of Chris Speaker. Derek Stewart, 3 times a winner last year on the Malvern Bank West and East Tour, the driver out of Ainsworth, Iowa. He'll be coming around to complete lap number 1. First lap coming for Derek Stewart. Stewart will go at a 13.905 on his first lap. Charlie McKenna, he betters it at a 13.87. Charlie McKenna, your winner here from 2 years ago, 13.87. Chris Speaker, a 14.578 for his first time. Second lap for Stewart, better at 13.781. Charlie McKenna's second lap, better at 13.68. Chris Speaker, we'll see if he can better his time. Speaker's second lap is better, but he'll stay third at a 14.077. So Charlie McKenna, the fastest out of the first 3 at a 13.68. Derek Stewart, second at a 13.781. Chris Speaker, third fastest at a 14.077. Top 6 qualifiers out of this session will be inverted. That's how we stack up the heat races. Next 3 cars on the track scheduled to be the 35D of Dylan Silman, followed by the 65 of John Benning and the 99 of Jesse Sobbing. Tonight marks the 5th ever visit by the Malvern Bank Series here to the Central Missouri Speedway. Last 4 races, we have had 4 different winners. Of course, Aaron Morant won our first race here back in 2020. Chad Holliday won here in 2021. 2022, it was the 22 of Charlie McKenna, and last year, 2023, it was Bill Layton Jr. picked up the A-feature win. Of course, after tonight's action, the Malvern Bank East Series is back in action for 3 big shows over in eastern Iowa next Friday through Sunday, May 24th through the 26th. On Friday the 24th, we'll make our annual stop to the Mississippi Valley Fairgrounds and the Davenport Speedway in Davenport, Iowa. Saturday night, we head to the Jackson County Fairgrounds and the Maquoketa Speedway in Maquoketa, Iowa. And we finish out the Memorial Day weekend on Sunday, May 26th, with our 3rd ever visit to the Dubuque Fairgrounds Speedway in Dubuque, Iowa. As for the Malvern Bank West Series tonight, after Central Missouri Speedway is in the books, we head back to the Cornhusker State for a big 2-day weekend, Friday and Saturday, May 31st and June 1st. Over in the state of Nebraska. On Friday, May 31st, we'll make our trip to the Beatrice Speedway in Beatrice, Nebraska, and then Saturday, June the 1st, it'll be our first of 2 visits to the Off-Road Speedway in Norfolk, Nebraska. Those will be the next 2 stops on the Malvern Bank West Tour. Alan?
Yeah, Anthony, we do have a short delay here. We are having some electrical issues on the back side of the track right now, so that's why you're seeing a delay here with qualifying with the late models. We should be back with you here in a few moments.
So an electrical issue, thankfully. Thankfully it was that and not an emergency issue. I know we've had that a time or 2. Horse race fans, if you haven't already, be sure to get the My Race Pass downloaded on your phone. The app is free to download from your App Store or your Google Play Store. The free download will get you starting lineups, race results, and schedules and championship points for all different touring series, as well as your favorite racetracks. That includes the Central Missouri Speedway, as well as the Malvern Bank Super Late Models West Series. There are also 2 paid tiers. If you upgrade to MRP Live, you get live timing and scoring, which we are using right here at the Central Missouri Speedway. Or if you get the premium subscription, which is a $35 value for the whole year, you get access to the live timing and scoring, lineups, results, schedules, points. You could also get access to the My Race Pass marketplace, as well as playing along on fantasy racing. I know I've got all my fantasy picks for tonight here at the Central Missouri Speedway in. That is with your premium subscription to the My Race Pass app. My Race Pass is the ultimate racing resource and a proud partner with the Malvern Bank Super Late Models West Series. Qualifying time trials back underway. John Benning will be the first car out in this trio, followed by Dylan Silman and Jesse Sobbing. John Benning, the driver from right here in Warrensburg, Missouri, the Long Creek Graphics GRT chassis, number 65. Then we got Dylan Silman, the driver out of Alvo, Nebraska. Silman, the defending West Series Rookie of the Year, the S&S Welding Strike Farms Durham-powered Rocket. And then Jesse Sobbing, driver out of Malvern, Iowa, the Malvern Bank Dirt Track Bank, Kevin Stowa-powered Capital, number 99. First lap coming for Dylan Silman. It'll be a 13.73. A 14.572 was the first lap for John Benning. Jesse Sobbing will go second at a 13.775. Second lap for Binning is better at a 14.405. Dylan Silman, his second lap better at 13.69. We'll see if Saubing can top it. And he will at 13.621. 13.621 for Jesse Saubing. So Saubing now setting the time to be next out will be the 4 of J.C. Wyman. He'll be followed by the 8K of Tyler Kuykendall and the 33 of Paul Glendenning. J.C. Wyman, the driver out of Griswold, Iowa, driving the Clean Car Center Wyman Body Works J.D. Wyman Powered Black Diamond. Tyler Kuykendall making his first series start, 16 years of age, from Warsaw, Missouri. The Tink Automotive, Petty Job Plastering, Mullins Powered Black Diamond. And then we got Paul Glendenning, the driver out of Mount Air, Iowa, the Glendenning Motor Company, Brett Wagner Powered Black Diamond. First lap for J.C. Wyman is going to be a 13.728. 13.728 for J.C. Wyman. First lap for Kuykendall. He'll be second fastest at a 14.405. Paul Glendenning a 14.49. Second lap for Wyman better at 13.649. 13.649 for J.C. Wyman. Next lap for Kuykendall better at 14.339. Second lap for Glendenning is better. He'll go to second in this trio with a 14.365. A 14.365 for Paul Glendenning. Next out will be the J1 of Jay Burdick. He'll be followed by the 1 of Jake Bridge and the 15C of Kurt Schroeder. So as we get ready for the next trio here at the Central Missouri Speedway, of course, Jake Bridge will be the first car out in this trio. Jake Bridge making his Central Missouri Speedway debut, his first full season with the Malvern Bank Super Late Models West Series, driving the Rick Honeycutt-owned Swartz chassis number 1, Kevin Stowa power underneath. Bridge driving the I-80 Farms Outback Fence and St. Diamond J Custom Services entry number 1. Jay Burdick right behind him, the driver from Malvern, Iowa. The Malvern Bank, Dirt Track Bank, the Blooming Barn, Scott Bailey powered Capital chassis. Then we got Kurt Schroeder, the Kurt Schroeder CPA Pre-Owned Autos of Des Moines Jet Train Services number 15C out of Newton, Iowa. First lap coming for the Waverly Warrior. His first lap's here at Central Missouri Speedway's first lap at 13.934. First lap for Jay Burdick is going to be a 14.511. 14.511 for Jay Burdick. First lap for Schroeder, he'll top Burdick at a 13.972. Second lap for Bridge is better at a 13.887. Second lap for Burdick is better, but he'll stay third in this trio with a 14.217. Second lap for Schroeder, better than Bridge. A 13.863 is his mark. 13.863 for Kurt Schroeder. He's the fastest out of this trio. Next out on the track will be the 88 of Jimmy Dowell, followed by the 3 of Mike Collins and the 49 of Andy Bryant. Dowell and Bryant both making their first starts with the series. Mike Collins, a past winner with the series in past years. Collins, the driver out of Council Bluffs, Iowa, the 5150 Trailer Services Rocket Chassis number 3. Andy Bryant, driver out of Fort Scott, Kansas, the TND Trucking Muhlenberg Excavation Eagle Machine Powered Black Diamond. Jimmy Dowell, the driver out of Boonville, Missouri, the Car Medic of Sedalia, Salty Hummingbirds Creason Powered Pierce Chassis. First lap for Dowell is going to be a 14.537. First lap for Mike Collins, a 14.858, and Bryant tops them all, a 14.17. 14.17 for Andy Bryant. Dowell goes back to the top of 14.122. Second lap coming for Collins will not be better at 14.858, and Andy Bryant will be the fastest out of this trio, a 14.025 for Andy Bryant. Andy Bryant the fastest out of this trio with a 14.025. Next out will be the 52 of Brian Kosiski. He'll be followed by the 53 of Andrew Kosiski, and then the 04 of Tad Pospischal. Brian Kosiski out of Papillion, Nebraska, driving the Kosiski Auto Parts Dirt Track Bank Imperial Tile TV and Company sponsored Longhorn Chassis Slick Machine Racing Engine number 52. Tad Pospischal, your defending West Series champion, the Signer Trucking, Two Casa Mexican Restaurant, Scott Bailey powered Longhorn. Brian Kosiski first lap, a 13.766. First lap for Andrew Kosiski, he'll top Brian at a 13.748. First lap going for Tad Pospischal, 13.568. Second lap for Brian is better at 13.717. Second lap for Andrew. He'll top everyone at 13.649. 13.649 for Andrew Kosiski. And Tad Pospischel, second lap not as good. He'll stay with a 13.658. So Andrew Kosiski, the fastest out of that trio, of 13.649. Next three cars will be the 42 of Fred Remley, followed by the 24 of Bill Ayton Jr., and scheduled to be the 14 of Kyle Berg. Looks like Berg not going to make it out, so looks like it's going to be Fred Remley and Bill Ayton Jr. and Chad Holliday, the third car in line. Bill Ayton Jr., your winner here from last year from La Vista, Nebraska, the Taylor Quick Pick Durostet Works Scott Bailey powered rocket. Chad Holliday, your defending West East Series champion from Muscatine, Iowa, the Holiday Trucking Shepherd powered Longhorn. First lap for Fred Remley, last year's East Series Rookie of the Year, a 14.163. Bill Ayton Jr. first lap, 13.739 for Bill Ayton Jr. First lap for Holliday, tops at a 13.455. Second lap for Remley is better at a 14.051. Second lap coming for Bill Ayton Jr. He'll top it at 13.675. Second lap coming for Holliday will not better it, but a 13.455. That's got to be the fastest overall. With just two more left to go, it'll be the 99D of Daryl DeFrance and the 20 of Zach Less. Daryl DeFrance, the wily veteran out of Marshalltown, Iowa, the in memory of Bob Moshpit Trucking Rumor Sports Bar, Dixie Chassis number 99D, and Zach Less making his debut here in Central Missouri out of Manchester, Iowa, the Elite Auto Sales RCC WBC Mechanical Shepherd Powered NB Custom number 20. First lap coming for the Iron Man in this one. DeFrance will put up a 13.849 for his lap. A 13.849. First lap for Zach Less. It'll be a 14.987. Second lap coming for Daryl DeFrance. It's better at a 13.845. 13.845 for Daryl DeFrance. Second lap for Zach Less is better at a 14.098. 14.098 for Zach Less. DeFrance, the fastest out of that duo. So that will do it for qualifying time trials for the Malvern Bank Super Late Models West Series. Again, the top six will be inverted. That will be how we stack up tonight's three heat races later on tonight. So I believe we will get into opening ceremonies here very soon. And a big shout out to everyone tuning in live on DirtCrown.tv with our live broadcast here at the Central Missouri Speedway. First time Dirt Crown has been down here to the Central Missouri Speedway. We are glad they are with us. Opening ceremony is just about ready to kick off, so Alan Miller, I think we're just about ready to get going here. Another beautiful night here for the inaugural Cliff Harris Memorial.
Thank you, Anthony. Good qualifying by those late models. Looking forward to that racing here tonight. A lot of fast cars here tonight in that 13-14 second range on this 3/8 mile track. So again, fans, we want to thank all the extra sponsors we have here tonight. Again, $5,000 has been added to our local racing purses here tonight, including the Cliff Harris Auto Group, Elite Auto Care, Get Her Done HVAC, Air Design Heating and Cooling, and also Richter Excavating and Plumbing. Richter Excavating and Plumbing is located in Warrensburg. It's been in business since 1993. Licensed, bonded, certified, and insured to guarantee the quality work you deserve. We can take care of your residential or commercial excavating needs. We dig it. It's Richter Excavating and Plumbing. Looks like a little bit of a jam up heading back into the pit here on the backside as we'll get those late models back into the pit area. Also want to thank Joshua Ali, our track photographer, the photog here at Central Missouri Speedway, moving extra money into the feature winners here tonight as well. So a lot of extra cash payouts again here at Central Missouri Speedway. Of course, our Cliff Harris Automotive Group race night. Understand here on the front side tonight there is an issue with our restrooms, but there is a porta-john available. Again, they're having some issues here on the front side with the restrooms, but there is a porta-john available. They'll be able to direct you to where that is. It's just outside, and I think on the south side of the old Pub 13 building, so just be aware of that. Okay, looks like we're getting the late models cleared there. All right, race fans, welcome to Central Missouri Speedway. I'm your track announcer tonight. I'm Alan Miller, glad to be with you. On behalf of our owners, Earl and Susan Walls, plus the entire staff, we thank you for joining us here tonight at Central Missouri Speedway for the inaugural Cliff Harris Auto Group, the first annual Cliff Harris Memorial Race here with the Malvern Bank Super Late Model West Series, including our weekly racing with the Power IB mods, Super Stocks, Midwest mods, and the CMS Pure Stocks. At this time, if you have served in the Armed Forces of the United States, would you please stand at this time in honor of Armed Forces Day? Give these guys and ladies a hand. We appreciate your service to our country. We'll also ask that the rest of you, if you're able to please rise or remove your caps. We're going to take a moment here. We lost a long-time supporter to the racing community here at Central Missouri Speedway, and that was Cliff Harris. The Cliff Harris Memorial is being produced tonight, so we want to take a moment of silence for the passing of Cliff Harris. And thank you very much. If you would please remove your caps now, place your hands over your hearts to honor this great country of ours and singing our national anthem tonight. Belinda Detheridge, take it away.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
All right, great job. The two cars out there tonight, also sponsored by the Cliff Harris Automotive Group, the 00 of Corey Flam and the 25 of Jay Purvett. Thank you, gentlemen, for carrying those flags here tonight. As they go by, give them a hand. All right, that's set up for your first heat races of the night. With our Pure Stocks, 2 heat races on the board tonight. Heat race number 1, it'll be the 4D of David Doles out of Warsaw, Missouri. Outside of him, it'll be Bobby Russell. Bobby Russell with a feature win this year, the number 24, out of Smithville. Row number 2, it'll be Zachary McDowell out of Eldon, Missouri, the M87 of Mallory Stifler out of Hoyt, Kansas. And row number 3, it'll be the 89 of Jonathan Evans out of Knob Noster, just down the road here by Whiteman Air Force Base. So that is your lineup. Heat race 1 of 2 for your Pure Stocks. They'll go ahead and do some packing here on the high side of the track, try to keep that moisture down in the track. Looks like the track is in great shape. I tell you what, TrackMan Todd has done wonders with this track, and also down on the infield.
He was supposed to be on the inside.
So we'll pack in that high side of the track here, keep that moisture down in there as long as we can tonight. It's been a lot of rain in this particular part of the country over the last 3 weeks. If you would have seen the infield earlier in the week, there was water everywhere down on this infield. And I tell you what, Todd spent hours today trying to get that moisture and move it out in great shape. He's going down the front stretch there right now. In the orange shirt, TrackMan Todd did great work trying to get everything in shape here for tonight. Looks like the pits, hot pit area will be able to be open tonight. All right, green furled flag from Walt Farwell on the stand. The lights go out, and that means it's ready to go racing. It'll be 8 laps for all of our heat races here tonight. 2 heat races again for your CMS Pure Stocks first heat race of the night. Spencer Rifle being heat race number 2. He has 2 wins so far. Also that 24 car a win as well. Green flag in the air. We are underway. The CMS Central Missouri Speedway Pure Stocks. There goes Russell to that outside as Doles slides back into that second spot. Right now it's Bobby Russell here on heat race number 1. That car is for sale, by the way. Conrad Workman owns that car. Good battle now for 3rd place. The M87 of Mallory Stifler now into row turns number 3 and 4. McDowell in the 26 car. Here comes Jonathan Evans, the Hammonds Roofing, and number 89 as well. But right now, with 2 laps in, it is Bobby Russell. Russell, your race leader here as it comes down that front stretch. About a 1.6 second lead so far for Bobby Russell. He had a feature win here in week number 1, I believe that was. So Bobby Russell, your early race leader here. 4 laps in, 4 to go now. Almost a straightaway lead for Russell. And heat race number 1 with your Pure Stocks. David Doles hangs on to that 2nd position. Mallory Stifler in 3rd now in the M87. McDowell, the 26. White flag will come out this next time across in heat race number 1 for the Pure Stocks. Again, if you're looking for a nice Pure Stock, that 24. Russell driving it tonight, but that's Workman that owns that vehicle. You can see the phone number on there as well. So again, as it comes out of turn number 4, white flag in the air for Bobby Russell. Bobby Russell brings it around. Checkered flag in the air. Bobby Russell. That's his second heat win of the year. So in the 24, a Bobby Russell, the 4D of David Doles, Mallory Stifler, the M87. Hammond's in the 89 and McDowell the 26. So let's set up heat race number 2 for you. It'll be Spencer Rife. Spencer with 2 feature wins this year. Spencer, call him Fly, out of Kansas City, Missouri in the 7 car. Outside of him, Christina Wyatt. They had a problem with a gauge on that car last week. They weren't sure if it was overheating or not, so she pulled off. But the Mrs. 01, Christina Wyatt out of Blue Springs. Row 2, the 21M out of Tuscumbia. And the 21 of Darren Porter out of California, Missouri. All right, again, we'll do a little packing on the high side of the track here. They're going to try to get this moisture, try to keep it down in the track as long as we can tonight. All right, looks like they got everything pretty well packed in. Green furled flag. Again, the green light is out. Looks like Walt has a helper down here in turn number 1 tonight. I see those flags down there, buddy. Doing a good job. All right, yeah. I see those flags down there. All right, green flag comes out. There we go. Nope. Christina. Little slow on the start there, so they'll have to reline them up again. All right, so Christina will move back up into that starting spot. Should be up on the front row. There she goes. They need to line them up. Need to keep side by side. As Tony Borkstad will watch them down here in turn number 1. Need to be side by side. Watch that 21 of Porter. The Porter's painting Sherwin Williams, number 21, Darren Porter. Up from the California area. Races double X there on Sunday nights when they race the pure stocks. Also the McDowell, number 21, Peyton McDowell, 21M. All right, they'll have to slow. There we go. Spencer Rife now swings it out there in turn 1. McDowell right on his tail. Porter again, the 21 machine. That's the black with the bright yellow colors out of turn number 4. But right now, Spencer Rife, your race leader. So Rife, about a half-second lead. Spencer's had a good season so far this year. Couple of feature wins. Spencer Rife now takes it down into turns 3 and 4. Up to 0.7 of a second. We'll check it on this time across. Still about 0.8 of a second on the lead. Spencer Rife, the McDowell car, sticking with him on the backside. Christina Wyatt, looks like she got that car back running again this week. Good to see that. But right now, Spencer Rife, McDowell, and Porter, your top 3. So 4 laps in, 4 to go. This will be lap number 5 this time across for Spencer Rife. Still a comfortable lead there now, up to about 1 second. They'll get around Christina here on the backside. Christina Wyatt. White flag will come out this next time across for Spencer Rife. Spencer, comfortable lead as he comes into turn number 3 and 4. This will be his third heat win of the year. Spencer Rife, McDowell, Porter, and Christina Wyatt, the 0-1. One lap to go. Checkered flag will come out this time across again. Spencer Rife, your winner of this second heat win of the year. Third heat win this year for Spencer Rife. Again, it's the 21 of McDowell, the 21 of Porter, and Christina Wyatt. All right, Midwest Mods, 2 heat races tonight with 14 cars checked in. It'll be Alex Schultz, that's right, Alex Schultz, just his second time out. He's on the pole position. Outside of him will be Jamie Alshire out of Moberly in the 059. Dustin Dennison, the 5D. He had a feature win down at Electric Speedway last night. Pete Richardson on the outside out of Springfield in the 64. And Joe Morant out of Rayville. He said, man, I was able to finish the feature last week. So again, 8 laps. David Wood on the outside in that 82 machine. So again, David Wood on the outside in the 82. Alshire, Marcus Fierstein, the 32 in row 2. Again, Dennison, the 5D with Richardson in the 64 and the 13 of Joe Morant. Okay, lights are out. Midwest Mods. 2 heat races tonight for these guys. As they come into 3 and 4, side by side, it's Schultz, it's Wood, they're underway. David Wood, your early race leader. Again, Alex Schultz, just his second time on the track. He was out here a couple of weekends ago. He's raced go-karts up at Emma Speedway. First time out in the Midwest Mod this year. So again, Wood, Schultz. Fierstein into 32, drops back a couple of positions now. But right now, David Wood in control here on lap number 2. So Wood, Schultz now, Alshire. Watch for Dustin Dennison. He's your reigning track champion. Schultz gets high on that back side, loses a couple of spots there. In control right now, David Wood with almost a 3-second lead. And the yellow comes out as Fierstein goes around low in turn number 2, brings out the first caution there. So Fierstein, the 32M, the driver out of Green Valley. So again, David Wood, Alshire. It'll be the 5D of Dustin Dennison. 41 of Schultz, the 64 of Richardson, the 13 of Joe Morant, and Fierstein will... So 3 laps down and just 5 to go. All right, 3 in the books. It'll be single foul to the cone. No passing until you hit the cone on the front side. We're back underway. David Wood leads him out of turn number 2. Watch that 5D of Dennison. The pink numbers coming out of turn number 3 and 4, but Alshire in front of him in the 059. Schultz again in the 41. Richardson the 64 right now under Commandos, the 82 at David Wood. Your Midwest mods. David Wood leads him down the backstretch, about half a straightaway lead for Wood. Had a nice feature win last year, was actually his first career feature win. Also, here comes Richardson now. He gets by Alex Schultz in that 41. Richardson moves up a spot, up into fourth. White flag in the air. 1 to go. As he comes around turns numbers 3 and 4, his first heat win of the year. It'll be David Wood. Allshire just in front of the 5D of Dennison. Then it's Richardson, the 41 of Schultz, Fierstein in the 32, and Joe Morant brings up the tail end in the 13. So hands together for the 82 of David Wood. Allshire and the 5D of Dennison all go to the tech area with Richardson, Schultz, Fierstein, and Morant. All right, let's set up heat race number 2 for you. It'll be Dakota Gerard. Dakota out of Moberly, Missouri, in that 0 car on the inside. Outside of him will be Justin Oliver out of Warsaw, Missouri. Inside of row number 2, Dustin Bray out of Osceola, the 75 of Race Martin out of Independence. Row 3, it'll be the 33 of Stephen Muhlenberg out of Sparta. The 9 of Brian Meyer out of Concordia. And then bringing up tail end Charlie. 3 feature wins so far this year at CMS. Logan Roark out of Henley, Missouri in the 17. All right, looks like okay, lights are out. Gerard on the inside with Oliver outside. Row 2 with Bray and Race Martin. Row 3, Muhlenberg and Brian Meyer. And Logan Rower, keep an eye on him again. 8 laps. Midwest Swans in the Cliff Harris Automotive Group heat race number 2. So Gerard with the early race lead. Here comes Dustin Bray. Muhlenberg, look out, in turns 3 and 4, just inside the tires. Logan Roark in the 17, already up about 3 positions. Keep an eye out on him. 3 feature wins so far this year. Logan Roark. Dakota Gerard, your race leader now on that back. Coming down into turns 3 and 4. Bray in that second spot. Here comes Roark now. Whoa, Race Martin almost off the track, up and high in 3 and 4. Martin hangs on. About a straightaway lead for Dakota Gerard. Bray in behind him. The battle's at 3rd place right now, so keep an eye on that. With Oliver and the 17 of Roark, the 9 of Brian Meyer, Muhlenberg behind them in the 33, and then Race Martin, but back to the front stretch. 3 laps to go now. The good battle is back here, back in the pack with Logan Roark now moving up to 3rd. He started tail end Charlie, so picking up some passing points. We use the passing points system here. Depending on where you start and where you finish, you gain basically a 1.5 for every position. Oh, the 22 slowing down here on the back stretch. Roark can't get by him. Now he does. He loses those several spots. White flag in the air. Roark fighting back here in turns 3 and 4. Gets up on top of Meyer. Tough break there for Roark. Has a problem on the 22 of Bray, and it is Dakota Gerard Your winner in heat race number 2, it'll be Oliver Muhlenberg, the 17 of Roark, the 9 of Meyer, and the 75 of Race Martin. That problem all started with the 22 and on that back stretch, and Logan Roark could not get by him. So again, Oliver Muhlenberg, Roark, Meyer, Race Martin, Dustin Bray, but Dakota Gerard. We'll hand it back over to Anthony with your Malvern Banks Super Late Model Heat Race number 1.
Thank you very much, Alan. Our first of 3 Malvern Banks Super Late Models West Series heat races on the track. Heat race number 1 on the Speedway. Here's your starting lineup on the pole. It'll be the 56 out of Messina, Iowa. That's Chris Speaker on his outside. In his Central Missouri debut from Waverly, Nebraska, it'll be the 1 of Jake Bridge. Row 2 on the inside from Ainsworth, Iowa. It'll be the 43 of Derek Stewart. On his outside from Ames, Iowa, will be the 22 of Charlie McKenna. Row number 3 on the inside from Griswold, Iowa, will be the 4 of J.C. Wyman. On his outside, tonight's fastest car in time trials from Muscatine, Iowa, it'll be the 32C of Chad Holliday. 4th row back on the inside from Malvern, Iowa, will be the J1 of Jay Burdick. And rounding out the field from right here in Warrensburg, it'll be the 65, that is John Benning. 8 cars, 8 fast laps for heat race number 1 of 3 for the Malvern Banks Super Late Models West Series here at the inaugural running of the Cliff Harris Memorial. So here we go, caution lights are out. The 9-time Adams County Speedway track champion, Chris Speaker on pole position. Jake Bridge, a former I-80 Speedway track champion, to his outside. Off of turn number 4, we are green in heat race number 1. Bridge trying to capitalize on the outside front row starting spot. He will as they come off at turn 2 the first time. Charlie McKenna and Derek Stewart side by side for the 3rd spot right behind Chris Speaker. Off at turn number 4, Jake Bridge will lead lap number 1. Chris Speaker rides to the 2nd position. The battle for 3rd rages on between McKenna and Stewart. Give it to Charge and Charlie as they come off at turn 2. McKenna and the My Yield Seed Treaters entry out of Ames, Iowa now runs in position number 3. Here comes J.C. Wyman to the inside of Derek Stewart for 4th. Can't get the spot away as they go into turn 1. Derek Stewart right through the middle of 1 and 2. Meanwhile, Chad Holliday, fastest driver in time trials tonight, having some trouble getting to the front of the pack. Holliday still back in the 6th spot where he began his charge. Next time by will be halfway done. We'll be 4 laps in and 4 to go. It's been all Jake Bridge right now in car number 1. Jake Bridge in his Central Missouri Speedway debut continues to lead the way. Chris Speaker runs 2nd. Charlie McKenna runs 3rd. J.C. Wyman's 4th. Chad Holliday now up to 5th. Then it's Derek Stewart, Jay Burdick, and John Benning. That's the running order. Here comes Wyman to the inside of McKenna off of turn 4. Can't make the pass. McKenna hanging on to it. Wyman now gets the bottom open, and J.C. Wyman takes over the bronze medal spot. Next time by 2 more times around the Speedway. White flag will be coming out next time around. And J.C. Wyman may not be done with the charge. J.C. Wyman trying to get those passing points. Trying to lock himself into that Skyline Materials Lucky 6 award. Wyman throws the slider on Speaker to take the 2nd spot as the white flag comes out. What a run there for J.C. Wyman. He may not be done. Does he have one more ace up his sleeve? Wyman to the bottom through 3 and 4. Drag race down to the line. Bridge hangs on to win. Wyman will be 2nd. Speaker is 3rd. And who got 4th at the line between McKenna and Holliday? It's Derek Stewart, Jay Burdick, and John Benning. How about it, race fans? Your winner of heat number 1, coming to us from Waverly, Nebraska in his Central Missouri Speedway debut. He drives the I-80 Farms, Outback Fence and Stain, Diamond J Custom Services, Kevin Stowe-powered sports chassis. Number 1, give it up for him, Central Missouri, Jake Bridge. Heat number 2 making its way out on the track. Here's your starting lineup. Scheduled to start on the pole from Manchester, Iowa. That'll be the 20 of Zach Less. On his outside in its Malvern Banks Series debut from Fort Scott, Kansas, it'll be the 49 of Andy Bryant. Row 2 will be the 99D out of Marshalltown, Iowa. Daryl DeFrance on his outside from Alvo, Nebraska. That'll be the 35D of Dylan Stillman. 3rd row on the inside, it'll be your defending West Series champion, the 04 from Norfolk, Nebraska. It's Tad Pospisil on his outside, the West Series champ from 2 years ago, the Malvern, Iowa 99 of Jesse Sobbing. Final row will be the 33 out of Mount Ayr, Iowa. That's Paul Glendenning. And rounding out the field from Council Bluffs, Iowa, that will be the 3. That is Mike Collins. Once again, 8 cars for 8 fast laps here at heat race number 2 for the Malvern Bank West Series at the Central Missouri Speedway. A lot of good movers and shakers in this one. Keep your eye on that third row. Tad Pospischal and Jesse Sobbing, the West Series champions from the past 2 seasons. Neither of them have a win here at Central Missouri Speedway. We'll see if that changes tonight. Andy Bryant on the outside of the front row doing double duty tonight, running his Power Eye B-Mod tonight as well. But it's going to be the Manchester, Iowa number 20 of Zach Less on the pole. We go green in heat number 2. Here we go, close confine actions here at Central Missouri Speedway. You gotta love it. Zach Less will have the whole shot as they enter turn number 3. Tad Pospischal already working his way to the low side through 3 and 4. Can't make the pass on to France. Lap number 1 will go to Zach Less. How about Andy Bryant? Good head of steam for the 49 machine. The John Muhlenberg Racing number 49 hangs on to position number 2. Meanwhile, Dylan Silman looking to the inside of Tad Pospischal for the 4th spot. The defending West Series champion and the defending West Series Rookie of the Year as the battle for the 4th spot as Bryant slipped up. That allows Daryl DeFrancia by Tad Pospischal right to the inside of Bryant. That's for the 3rd spot off of 4th. Give it to Tad Pospischal as they cross the line. Now Andy Bryant starting to push a bit going into turn 1. He'll surrender the 4th spot to Dylan Silman as we get to the halfway mark. 3 wide for the lead off of turn number 4. Zach Less still with the upper hand as we hit the halfway mark. But Tad Pospischal far from done. Pospischal toe-to-toe with Less as they go down the backstretch into 3. Pospischal, can he become the next leader of this one? Survey says it's going to be a drag race, but Pospischal does take the lead. Tad Pospischal, your new leader with 3 laps to go here in heat number 2. Daryl DeFrance right to the inside of Zach Less for the 2nd spot. Less comes down to block the line. 2 more circuits remain for the defending West Series champion. Pospischal looking good. That Scott Bailey powered Longhorn number 04. The Signer Trucking Window World Sea and Associate sponsor number 04 takes the white flag. 3/8 of a mile to go for Norfolk, Nebraska's Tad Pospischal. Pospischal will take it down the backstretch and into 3 for the 8th and final time. Checker flag is going to fly, and Tad Pospischal will win a very exciting heat number 2. Daryl DeFrance will cross in 2nd. Dylan Silman is 3rd. Zach Less hangs on for 4th. It's Andy Bryant, Jesse Sobbing, Mike Collins, and Paul Glendenning. So they'll head down to the scale to make it official, but race fans, give it up for him. Your defending Malvern Bank West Series champion wins heat number 2 out of Norfolk, Nebraska. He drives the Signer Trucking Window World Sea and Associates Dietz Well and Pump 106 Kicks Radio Scott Bailey powered Longhorn chassis number 04. Give it up for him, Central Missouri, Tad Pospischal. Your 3rd and final heat about ready to go green here at the Central Missouri Speedway. Here is your starting lineup. Scheduled to be on the pole will be the 88 machine out of Boonville, Missouri. That is going to be Jimmy Dowell making his Malvern Bank Series debut. On his outside from Anamosa, Iowa, I believe making his Central Missouri Speedway debut. That'll be the 42 of Fred Remley. 2nd row on the inside from Newton, Iowa will be the 15C of Kurt Schroeder. On his outside from Papillion, Nebraska will be the 52 of Brian Kosiski. 3rd row back on the inside, it'll be the 24, last year's feature winner here at Central Missouri. The 24 from La Vista, Nebraska, it's Bill Ayton Jr. On his outside, also from La Vista, that'll be the 53 machine. That is AK Andrew Kosiski. Final row scheduled to be on the inside, making his series debut from Warsaw, Missouri. That'll be the AK of Tyler Kuykendall. And do not see our 8th and final starter. That's scheduled to be the 14 out of Marquette, Nebraska. That is Kyle Berg. So something still amiss on the Speedy Mart Aurora Co-op number 14. And they did not have any power during hot laps. Kyle brought the car in basically shortly after he got up to speed in hot laps, did not come out for qualifying, and he is MIA in this heat race. So it looks like 1 to go signal will be coming out. Next time around, we will go green. So we've got the past 3 winners from the past 3 years here at Central Missouri Speedway. They are all in this field of cars tonight. Bill Ayton Jr., your winner last year. Charlie McKenna, your winner from 2 years ago. Chad Holliday, your winner from 3 years ago. We're just missing Aaron Morant, our first ever winner with the series here at Central Missouri. He won back in 2020. Here we go. Dowell and Remley, row 1. Schroeder and Kosiski, row 2. Layton and Kosiski, row 3. Kuykendall out back. The field tightens up and they will come to life off of turn number 4 this time. Jimmy Dowell, in his Malvern Bank Series debut, will bring heat race number 3 to green here at Central Missouri. Nice even takeoff as they go into 1. Last year's East Series Rookie of the Year, Fred Remley, will have the whole shot as they go down into turn 3 the first time. Jimmy Dowell trying to meet him through 3 and 4, but it's going to be the Anamosa, Iowa 42, your leader after 1. Fred Remley, your leader here on the opening circuit. Meanwhile, Bill Layton Jr. looking to the outside of Kurt Schroeder. That's for 4th as they go down the backstretch the first time. Oh, and up the hill goes Remley, and Dowell throws a vicious slider off at turn 4. Remley crosses the beams, and he takes back the lead. Now Dowell over the sweet stuff at turn number 1. That's going to allow Brian Kosiski to take over position number 2. Dowell comes back low. He'll try to follow Kosiski, and now he'll drift up the track at turn 4. That allows Kosiski and Remley to pull away. And now Kosiski closing in on Fred Remley. That's for the race lead. Brian Kosiski. Does he have something on the bottom that he likes? Coming down to the line. Remley still by a nose piece is your leader, but Kosiski's right there. Kosiski now pokes the red nose piece ahead of Remley as they go down the backstretch into 3. This time around 3 to go, and you've got yourself a new leader. Brian Kosiski now shows the way here at Central Missouri. Meanwhile, battles on for 3rd is Bill Layton Jr. looking to get around the 88 of Jimmy Dowell. Dowell doing a great job holding on to the bronze medal spot over Bill Layton Jr. Meanwhile, here comes Remley back on the attack. White flag will be coming out next time by. Meanwhile, Layton will have Jimmy Dowell cleared through turns 1 and 2. Kosiski back ahead of Remley down the back straightaway. Great high-speed chess match here with 1 lap to go. Kosiski, your leader, as Dowell starts to free fall. Can Remley mount one last charge here before it's all said and done? He'll try into 3, but he's too far back. Checker flag will fly. Brian Kosiski will win heat race number 3. Fred Remley is 2nd. Bill Layton Jr. is 3rd. That's Tyler Kuykendall from the rear to 4th. And it's Kurt Schroeder, Jimmy Dowell, and Andrew Kosiski to round out the field. What a wild heat number 3. Give it up for your winter race fans from Papillion, Nebraska. He pilots the Dirt Track Bank, Imperial Tile, TB & Company, Stumpy's Custom Creations, Slick Machine Powered Longhorn. Number 52, let him hear you, Warrensburg, Brian Kosiski. That will wrap up our 3 heat races for the Malvern Bank Super Late Models West Series. We'll come back later. We'll tell you who our Skyline Materials Lucky 6 starter it will be for tonight's main event. Meanwhile, we'll turn it back over to Alan Miller because it's time for Power Rise Super Stock action.
All right, let's set up 2 heat races here tonight. Heat race number 1, Roger Deathridge out of Windsor in the 25X. Outside of him, it'll be Corey Flam, the 00 car from Warrensburg. Row 2, it'll be the veteran driver Chad Lyle out of Oak Grove, and the Mark Carter, number 10, the 77 of Donnie Danner, racing that car tonight. He's out of Lone Jack. Row number 3, it'll be the 164. Michael Muskrat out of Stillwell, Oklahoma. Outside of him, Mike Doherty. He's out of Warrensburg, Missouri. And row number 4, the G1. It's Nitro, Nick Gibson out of Garden City. With the C1 of Darren Chrysler out of Bodark, Missouri. And then it's Chris Kircher out of Drexel in a 28K. That is heat race number 1. Again, $1,000 to win for your Power Eye Super Stocks here tonight at Central Missouri Speedway, just north of Warrensburg. Looks like they picked up a little debris on the front side of the track there, just by the front stretch. All right, they're going to go side by side, nose to tail, as they come into turn number 4. We're underway. Flam and Deathridge leads them down out of turn number 2. Chad Lyle again, he's in that shark chassis. That's Mark Carter's car, Elite Automotive. He is one of our sponsors here tonight. Again, 5,000 extra going out to our weekly racing series. That's spread out throughout the field, but 1,000 to win for your super stocks here tonight. Corey Flam leads them down the front stretch here with 2 laps in. So Flam under control, but here comes Lyle. Lyle won a couple of feature wins last year in that 10 car, racing for Mark Carter early in this season with Mark with some health issues right now. Looks like Chad Lyle has that car moving through the back stretch. It gets right on the tail of Flam in the 00. Then it's Donnie Danner now to the outside, and since he gets by Deathridge now, it's Don Danner. Good battle for the top spot. 4 laps in, 4 to go. Your top 2 side by side. As they dive it down into 3 and 4, you can see Lyle using the top side of that track. Here comes Chad Lyle, new race leader, Chad Lyle. So Lyle and Flam. Good battle up front between those two. The veteran driver, Chad Lyle, for many years here in modifieds. Chad Lyle, again, your leader as he comes out of 4. That's lap number 6, so just 2 to go. Lyle again in that Mark Carter number 10. Flam. Then it's Donnie Danner, Deathridge, and Muskrat, your top 5. White flag will fly this time across for the veteran driver, Chad Lyle. Lyle, heat race number 1, your race leader. Now with a comfortable lead, about 7/10 of a second as it comes in at turn number 4, slides up to the top side of the track. It will be Chad Lyle. Flam, Danner, Deathridge, Muskrat, Nitro, Nick Gibson, the 07 of Doherty, Chris Kircher, and Darren Chrysler. So put your hands together. The veteran driver, Chad Lyle, your winner in heat race number 1, followed by Flam, Danner, Deathridge, Muskrat, Gibson, Doherty, Kircher, and Gibson back there on the backside as well. That's set up heat race number 2 for you now. It'll be Devin Irvin out of Cleveland, Missouri, and the 67 outside of him, the moving Dave Meyer out of Concordia. And the number 9, row 2, it'll be Jay Prevette out of Windsor, the Prevette Construction. Number 25 with the 30K of Cameron Kelly out of Concordia, Missouri, just down the road here. Row 3, your 3-time champion with Power Eye Superstocks and defending track champion, the 45 of Aaron Poe out of Knob Noster. Outside of him, it'll be James Nicewanger. He's out of Osawatomie, Kansas, in the 44, the 05 of Dale Berry out of Tuscumbia, and then Blaine Ewing out of Greenridge in the 04. That is heat race number 2, Power Eye Super Stocks. It looks like we're having somebody with a problem in the hot pit lane there on the backside as they push Mike Doherty off. Again, this will be your Elite Auto Repair heat race number 2 for your Power Eye Super Stocks. Again, that's Mark Carter's business down in Warrensburg. Latest, most up-to-date technology, experienced, knowledgeable, friendly technicians. Repair your vehicle the way it should be done. Elite Auto Repair heat race number 2 with the Power Eye Super Stocks. Green flag. Irvin in the 9 of Dave Meyer. They're going to bring it down that back stretch now with Meyer right on the tail of Devin Irvin. Here comes Jay Prevette now in the 25. Watch out for that 45 of Aaron Poe as well. Let's see if he can move up. Aaron already up 1 position here on lap number 2 as they come by. Devin Irvin, your leader. Devin with a feature win here last year. Frequent visitor here at Central Missouri Speedway. Dave Meyer has raced here for many years in that number 9. That's typically his number, raced here many years in modifieds. Last year he was in a Midwest mod. 3 laps in, 5 to go. That's what's at 45. Aaron Poe now as he's going to try to make that top side of the work. Turns 3 and 4, not able to make it work that time. Nicewanger in the 44 now gets up on his tail. In the 04 of Blaine Ewing. This is heat race number 2. With 4 laps in, this will be lap number 5, this time across for Devin Irvin. Devin Irvin, your race leader. Devin with about a 0.4 of a second lead. Oh, and Poe gets loose on